Wow, so they actually admit they messed up and they're doing something to fix it? Hey everyone, it's Spopes. And in a stunning turn of events, ZOS has actually come out and admitted that they messed up with the Writhing Wall event and that they'll be making it up to us by giving us 8,000 free Seals of Endeavor, as well as bringing the event back in early 2026. This is welcome, but completely unexpected. In this video, I'll break down what's happening and what I think it means for the future of ESO. Before we jump in, please do remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hype the video if you're on mobile, and I did just make a Discord server for the channel. More info on that at the end of the video. My first inkling that any of this was happening was when I saw this post on X from yesterday. And to be perfectly honest with you, I just ignored it at first because it's the usual, we're sorry kind of stuff. We heard your feedback, we want to apologize, etc. At first, I didn't even click the link because that's just kind of what I've come to expect from ZOS. Empty apologies with nothing to back it up. But then thanks to my community pointing it out, I did click the link, and this is what I found. We know that the Writhing Wall event has been disappointing for many of our players, that you were looking forward to experiencing Phase 3 and the Writhing Fortress. This event has not met the quality standards you expect and deserve from us, and it certainly hasn't been the experience we wanted to give you. For that, I'd like to sincerely apologize. And so this is coming directly from Nick G at ZOS. So that's all well and good, but this was the point where I started to actually think there's some substance here. We understand that an apology only goes so far, so we wanted to share what we're doing to address this. First, as a thank you for your patience throughout all this, we're adding 8,000 Seals of Endeavor on day 1 of the December daily login reward calendar. So just for some context, 8,000 Seals of Endeavor is no drop in the bucket. Radiant Apex mounts, which are the most expensive items you can buy in ESO, only cost 16,000 Seals of Endeavor. So essentially they're giving us half of a Radiant Apex mount as their way of saying they're sorry. I don't think anything like this has ever been done before. They've been a little bit more generous with the seals recently, giving out 1,000 here and there with login rewards and golden pursuits. But giving out 8,000 at once, I don't think has ever been done before. That is a serious admission of a mistake. So think about it this way. If it costs around $500 to buy a Radiant Apex mount just by grinding the crown gems, they're essentially giving every player more than $200 they can use toward the shop. I know it's not exactly like that, but it's one way of looking at it. So on top of that, they're also working on fixing the Writhing Fortress. Obviously, the cynic in me says, well, they should have play tested it first. These bugs should have never existed, but still, it's welcome that they're fixing it. This is kind of sad in a way, but the final boss, Zysax, no longer flies around. I honestly really liked that, and it's kind of too bad that it's gone, but I know that was bugging for some people. The Infernium no longer gets stuck. That was the one bug that I experienced personally. It's excellent they fixed that. And this was the most reported bug in my last video, that Scordo would not appear at the end when you finish the quest. Now they fixed it so that he will consistently show up. And now here's possibly the most important part. I mean, the 8,000 Seals of Endeavor is incredibly generous and totally unexpected, but they're also going to have the event come back. We investigated the possibility of extending Phase 3 of the event because we want everyone to have more time to play once the issues are fixed. However, doing so would introduce technical risks and unknowns that could result in additional issues. And I'm not sure how much I believe that exactly, but okay. But anyway, because of this, we'll let the event conclude on its current schedule, and then in early 2026, we will bring back the Writhing Fortress once we've completed additional internal tests and had the chance to implement additional fixes. So that's great, but again, why didn't they do proper testing ahead of time? Oh well, okay. We were trying something new with this event, but our execution ultimately didn't meet expectations. This was not the experience we should have delivered. We hear your feedback on Phase 3, in addition to your feedback on Phases 1 and 2, especially the grind, rewards, and required activities. Whoa, like they're actually listening. We take this feedback to heart, and as the new game director, I want to personally assure you that we hear you, we will learn from it, and we will do better. Thank you to everyone who has shared thoughts and feedback with us, especially the constructive criticism, and told us what you want and expect. It matters, and we are listening. We truly appreciate your long-standing dedication and support to us, each other, and ESO. I'm looking forward to forging a better path ahead with you. Okay, and yeah, Nick G stands for Nick Giacomini. This is directly from the new game director. So scrolling through the responses, this has generally been met with a lot of enthusiasm and appreciation. People are especially appreciating the transparency. And you know what? I do too. I have been watching the game very carefully ever since these lead positions got shaken up, since Matt Fuhrer left, since Rich Lambert changed positions. I've been very curious how the new leadership team is going to handle things. And I have to admit, I was not very impressed with the way the Writhing Wall was handled. The whole time, I was hoping this was just a result of the previous leadership team not meeting expectations, that there was a chance that the new team would pull things off better. And I feel like this is the first concrete signs that our hopes there are actually substantiated. In response to the obvious debacle that the Battle for the Writhing Wall was, the game director himself came out and said things like, the event did not meet the quality standards you expect and deserve. Much more importantly, he admitted that apologies really don't mean anything. And he gave out 8,000 Seals of Endeavor all at once. I really don't think that's ever happened before. Anything like this has ever happened before in ESO. This has to be the most generous apology move or any other kind of gift that the development team has ever given the players. Again, 8,000 Seals of Endeavor is no drop in the bucket. That is really meaningful. They've fixed the 3 main issues with the event that were holding people up, relatively quickly, I might add, and they're going to bring the event back in 2026. I'm not sure how much I believe this line of, technical risks and unknowns that could result in additional issues. I mean, I believe it. It just sounds like an excuse to me. Again, why were these technical issues not figured out and fixed before the event actually launched? But again, I've been giving them some leeway because of the major changes the studio has been through. And what I've cared about this whole time is how the new leadership team handles issues, handles the game going forward. And something else I really like is the fact that he specifically addressed the pain points that people have been complaining about throughout the entire event. Instead of just saying, oh, yeah, there are some problems, he specifically said that the grind in phases 1 and 2, the poor rewards, and the activities you were required to do were not good. So this concretely shows me that Nick Giacomini and the new team are actually doing a pretty good job. These kind of basic lame apologies are what we're honestly used to in the game so far. When things go wrong, they just say, we're sorry, we'll do it better next time, but nothing ever really changes. But there's a difference in this apology, mainly the transparency, like saying this isn't the experience we wanted to give you, addressing the specific bugs, showing knowledge of what they are and the problems they were causing. And I guess being honest about the technical risks and issues with extending the event is also good and transparent. It comes across like Nick and the team actually care, like they're actually sad about this. They're not just like, they paid anyway, what does it matter? I mean, it's just words, but the language sounds like they're legitimately pained by how this went down. They might be losing sleep over it. They're sad. That's pretty different from what I've come to expect from the studio. Then the game director himself is assuring us that he's learned from it and will do better in the future. And again, the biggest part here for me is that it seems like Nick Giacomini and his team are actually paying attention to the real issues. Not just saying, the event didn't last long enough or there weren't enough flying Daedra flying around. No, it was the fact that in phase 1 and 2, you had to grind basically infinitely for terrible rewards, doing activities nobody wanted to do. Nick has actually heard that and is going to do things differently in the future, or so he says. So again, this is all words at this point, and we'll just have to see how things go in the future before we make any conclusions about the trajectory of the game in the studio. But getting 8,000 Seals of Endeavor, I mean, I'm not just trying to forgive just because I got a big gift. I'm not that shallow. It is cool that I'll be that much closer to the next Radiant that I want. I'm definitely stoked about that. But more than that, giving out that large of a payout in terms of an apology shows that the studio recognizes the severity of the mistakes they've made. They're not just saying, oh, here you get a free terrible mount nobody will ever ride. They're saying, here's halfway toward your next Radiant, whatever mount you want to get, or whatever else you might want to buy in the Crown Store. That combined with the fact that the event will be coming back for a second run at some point, and just the specific ways that Nick transparently addressed the issues, revealing the pain that the studio is going through with this failed release, showing actual recognition of the real problems people have been having with the event. What I've come to expect from the studio is saying things like, we realized there weren't enough flying ghost tendrils in the sky for this event. The next event will have more flying ghost tendrils. Just kind of sidestepping the real issues, straw manning things into place, providing kind of meaningless compensation for issues without ever really addressing the real problems. And I think the main reason for that is the real problems were too difficult to address. But also, instead of just forcing the event to continue, It looks like Nick Giacomini is proactively looking ahead and seeing, wow, that would actually introduce more problems than it would fix. So he's doing the hard thing instead of just extending the event and pushing it back until later when all the testing that honestly should have been done at the beginning is completed and they can run it effectively in the way it should have been run. So yeah, the 8,000 Seals of Endeavor, the fact that the event is coming back next year, these are all really important things and I appreciate it. But more than anything else, this has been the first opportunity for Nick and the new team there at ZOS to really put their money where their mouths are, to show us with their actions that everything that they've said about how the game is going to improve going forward wasn't all just talk. This strikes a completely new chord in the history of the development of ESO. It shows a much more proactive approach to listening to the players, much more transparency, and honestly, much more generosity when it comes to compensating for issues that have been experienced in the game and putting their time and effort into making meaningful changes that actually fix things. So overall, the way this has been handled gives me a lot more hope for the future of ESO. The event never should have gone down like this. Western and Eastern Solstice should never have been as small and buggy as they are. But as I've been saying this entire time, this current year of content was a product of the old guard, the old leadership team. And I've been saying that I have hope for the future of the game as long as the new leadership team comes in and shows, like actually shows us that they're doing things differently than the way they were done before. This has been the first major opportunity for Nick and his team to actually show us that they're taking a new approach. And to be honest with you, I feel like they've completely knocked it out of the park. Does this completely fix the Writhing Wall event? Does it completely make up for how poorly thought out it was? The ridiculous repetitive grind? All of the issues we then experienced when we got to the Writhing Fortress? No, honestly, I don't think anything could possibly make up for that at this point. It's just too late. But instead of sweeping the issues under the rug, Nick came out and rewarded us with actually pretty good consolation prizes, specifically address the bugs that have existed, and overall set a new tenor with the communication with the community, showing transparency, accountability, and giving me hope for the future. I've always said that ESO could be in for its next big renaissance, and I still don't know. But I'm much more confident now after how this was handled that the future of ESO is bright. Again, I am still pretty upset with the way things were handled, but what matters to me much more than what's going on right here in the here and now is the future of the game for the next 2, 3, 5 years. And up until this point, Nick Giacomini and Joe Burba have been all talk, saying these things about the game being a 30-year game, listening better, everything changing in big and important ways. But now, with the way that this has been handled, we have seen the first actual tangible evidence that that's not just all talk. And so I'm even more hopeful for the future of ESO now than I was before. So I really appreciate you guys watching till the end. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and hype it. And please do comment with your thoughts. Does this make up for the failures of the events? Is it not enough? Is it too little too late? I'm really curious to know what you guys think. And as I mentioned, I did just start a Discord server for the channel. The link is in the description of the video. You can also find it in my bio on my channel page. And I've made a couple posts about it. I'm going to keep posting with the link to make sure everybody joins. We've already got quite a few people starting the discussion there. Please do join us on Discord. And as always, if you want to show your appreciation directly, you can drop a super thanks in the comments or join me as a member of the Spopes Army. Lord, thank you for inspiring the new leadership team at ZOS to take actual, meaningful, actionable steps toward making up for the disaster of the Writhing Wall event and for showing us that the future of ESO could well be bright. I ask that you strengthen Nick and his team going forward to actually deliver on the promises they've made and make the game a great place for us all to enjoy for years to come. Lord, I thank you for my channel and for my community. I give all glory to you, God. Please continue to grow my channel, strengthen my community, make it a place we can all come together. And Lord, please bless everyone watching this video. Give them everything they need in life, both in ESO and in the real world beyond. And Lord, please do bless and strengthen me in the trials I'm currently undergoing. May you help me turn them into the seeds of sanctification. And Lord, please strengthen me to grow into the person I'm meant to be. Lord, in your mercy, hear our prayer. Again, thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hype. And when you do subscribe, turn on notifications because I'll be back soon with new content.